All right, I finally got in the brand new, redesigned 24-inch 2021 iMac, and it's right here. And I'll get into that a lot more in the next couple of days and couple of weeks. But really, on this first video about the brand new iMac, I wanted to focus on the brand new keyboard. Yes, the Magic Keyboard with Touch ID. I wanted to know, how does it work with the brand new iMac, but also, can I pair it to another Mac? Hey, I'm Jerry, and it's been a long time coming to get these new iMac designs. Love them or hate them, and a lot of people do both. They're here finally. So now we can take a look at them, play with them, and see what they have to offer. But the new Magic Keyboard that comes with the new iMac has Touch ID for the very first time. And there's a couple of other changes, so let's go ahead and walk through those real quick. First off, you'll notice at the corners there are actually rounded buttons for the Escape key, the Touch ID key, the right arrow key, and the function key at the bottom left. There's also the brand new keys that have been coming on the new MacBooks lately, including the search button, the dictation button, and of course, the Do Not Disturb button. And I'll tell you what, that Do Not Disturb button is fantastic. I use it on my MacBook Pro all the time. In fact, my MacBook Pro pretty much stays in Do Not Disturb mode all the time because I don't like all of the notifications from the Finder when I connect and disconnect drives. It just fills up and is just constantly bugging me. So I just leave Do Not Disturb on my Mac pretty much all the time now. Then of course, all the way at the top right, there is that brand new Touch ID key. Now this is actually a button and the Touch ID sensor, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Now when you first go through that process of setting up the brand new iMac, you do get that Touch ID configuration page that looks very similar, very familiar if you've ever set up Touch ID on a MacBook or MacBook Pro, or even an iPhone. First, it asks you to raise your finger up and down multiple times to try and get an idea of the center of your fingerprint. Then after a moment, it asks you to register the sides of your fingerprints so that no matter how you touch the sensor with your finger to unlock your Mac, it should register enough and unlock your Mac for you. Then of course, you can add additional fingerprints or change the ones that you have by going to System Settings and then to the Touch ID control panel. Now the Touch ID key can actually lock and unlock your iMac for you. To lock your Mac, you can just simply press down on the Touch ID key and your screen will lock and you'll be at that lock screen. To unlock your Mac, just rest any of your registered fingers on the Touch ID sensor and your Mac will of course unlock. When you do lock your Mac, you actually have to press down on the key. It is a physical button, a physical key on the keyboard that you have to press down to lock. Just resting your fingerprint on there will not lock the Mac. It will unlock it, but not lock it. So as you can see here, I can press anywhere on the key, not touching the fingerprint sensor, and lock the Mac. The Touch ID sensor, of course, will work with authenticating anything it normally works with on another Mac or an iPhone, like purchases from the App Store or purchases using Apple Pay and Apple Wallet. But what I really wanted to know is how can I pair this to another Mac? Apple did say that the new Magic Keyboards with Touch ID can pair to other Macs, but they must have an M1 chip. So over on my MacBook Pro, I go to Bluetooth settings and I pair the keyboard just like I would with any other Bluetooth keyboard. After a few seconds, we are paired and good to go. So now I can go over to the Touch ID settings and I'm going to add a new fingerprint. Now it took a little while on the screen for my MacBook Pro to recognize Touch ID on the external keyboard. And so I just kept lifting and lowering my finger on the Touch ID sensor until it popped up. Then it asks you to press the physical power/Touch ID button twice on the MacBook Pro as some kind of a hardware handshake. And now the Magic Keyboard with Touch ID is registered with the MacBook Pro and I can add my second fingerprint just like I would normally. Now what's nice about this is that all of the fingerprints of course are stored in the secure enclave on the Mac itself. So even though I only registered my second fingerprint on the Magic Keyboard, the external Magic Keyboard, it also works with my first original index finger that I had already set up on the built-in Touch ID on the MacBook Pro. So I guess that's about it. That's the brand new Magic Keyboard with Touch ID that comes with the brand new 24-inch iMacs. It's pretty cool. I could take or leave the color, you know, silver works just fine for me, but it's really nice to be able to have Touch ID on an external keyboard, whether it's for the Mac or whether you can buy one someday without the iMac and use it on a MacBook Pro or a Mac Mini with M1. But be sure to let me know what you think of the brand new Magic Keyboard with Touch ID that comes with the new iMacs. If you're interested in the other videos I'll be making over the next couple of days and weeks about the new iMacs or even the iPads and even the Apple TV remotes, definitely hit that subscribe button. Hit like if you liked it, and I'll see you next time.